Hey, hey, what's going on, everybody? Happy Thursday. So good to see you all. Dree and I are tuning in here from the Lebanon, Tennessee. You can see she's been working on her tan.
I was at the pool today, working from the pool.
She's trying to out tan me. Not fair. I need to get some more time at the pool too. But we're pumped. We're pumped to share some stuff with you today, and we have a very, very special guest on here that I cannot wait to dig into this guy's story. It's just incredible, and I know for all of us on here, it's just gonna blow our minds and let us know that anything is possible. So we're gonna get to that here in a few minutes. But I just want to share a few things. So first of all, as far as the company, right, the Just Celery is flowing. I mean, anybody that is on social media for more than a minute sees people going live and drinking the celery juice. And I'm on day 8 of the 10-day challenge. So make sure you're going live. You're sharing yourself drinking the celery juice. If you haven't ordered it yet, make sure and order it before it's on back order, before they have to raise prices because celery's going crazy. Don't say I didn't warn you when you're like 2 weeks from now going, oh, I want to get some now. And you're like, oh, back order, sorry. So we're on day, I don't know what day you're on, but I'm on day 8.
Hey, listen, go live, but try it before you go live so that your face doesn't, listen, I'm so glad. I've gone live on every single product that we've gotten that was brand new that I was tasting. And I just had a feeling about this one. And so I would have been dry heaving into the live. So it's gotten better. It's growing on me. I think I'm on day 8. And I gotta say, with all the benefits and the way that I feel, the way that my skin is looking, the way that the bloating is, my body feels less bloated and less inflammation. I can really tell a difference. And so to me, here's what I do. This is how I pump myself up. Chad bought this book about celery, juicing celery. And I literally open it up and read a few pages of it before I chug my stuff because I'm like, okay, this is what it's gonna do for my body. But I tell you, it's not my favorite. It's not my favorite, and my face definitely says it all. So I can't go live, but I am doing it, and I can definitely tell the difference, and it's worth the taste. It's worth it.
It's totally worth it, and it does get better. So if you're, give it a few days, and your body will start craving it or wanting it more.
I've taken shots of alcohol that taste way worse than this. So I know that you can. I know you can do it. So just chase it with a little water. That's it.
You can do it. If you need some courage, just watch other people's lives and go, they drink it, I can drink it. Just get it in. Everybody needs their Hulk juice every day. So when you get that book and you literally read the back of it, there's so many things that it helps with. And I've just been learning and educating. It's definitely worth every single swallow. So that's the first thing. The second thing is I want you guys to totally understand the importance and the value of telling the It Works story more this month than you probably ever have, because imagine when someone joins your team this month and by the end of the year they get the $10,000 diamond bonus, or they get the diamond and the double diamond bonus, which is 15, or maybe some people get the diamond and the double and the triple. Imagine what's going to happen to their income and their family. And because you're the one that brought them into the company, you're going to have a lot of benefit from that too. And I just love that. Who knows? There's probably somebody that's going to join the company like today or yesterday or this month. And by the end of the year, they could potentially go ambassador and get what? Diamond, double, triple, 5 bonuses that would combine to be $100,000. So there's literally $100,000 on the table. So right now it's so easy. And then on top of that, the company put an extra box of wraps in the startup kit. So $230-ish in value for $99. So they made it a complete no-brainer. And that's happening for like the next 76 hours. So you want to be having this conversation, talking to people about becoming, see, as soon as I said that, Dree's like trying to recruit someone right now.
I am talking to somebody.
She's talking to somebody right now. She's like, oh my gosh, only 76 hours. We got to get these people in where they get the extra box of wraps. So that's happening. In addition to that, brand new product coming out on Sunday. How cool is that? Can't wait to find out what that is. I know they've been dropping clues from corporate on the Instagram, and so we don't know exactly what it is, but I just know it's going to be good because what they do is good. So really, really excited about that. As far as I know, some of you are on here. I opened this up to some other teams and some other stuff. So some of you, this doesn't apply to you, but we have a team contest happening October 11th through 13th. So make sure and get with your upline if you're on our team. Find out what you have to do to qualify to get there. Look on the team page and make sure you understand, because we're going to have about 20 people over to our house in October, and it's going to be epic, and you're definitely going to want to be there. So that's huge. Men's retreat is happening in 28 days. We don't have 100 people yet, so we'll probably shut it down if we get to 100 people. And I know I ordered enough of these really cool coffee mugs that the first 100 get one. So make sure that you're sharing it with your team and getting them there. It's just going to help your man, your boyfriend, your fiance, your boyfriend and your fiance, your husband, just everybody, every guy you know, brother, cousin, uncle. They're gonna love it if they come. So
well, I'm
make sure
telling
let
you,
them know.
you know, ladies, I just want to reiterate what Chad's saying, because I get so many reports back from my friends whose husbands have gone, and they've become completely different people. Husbands that weren't plugged in and didn't want to help with the kids while she was doing, you know, working on it works. Now they come home because they're hungry and they're excited. They feel like they belong to something, and they come home and they start to do the things and start helping out and just being supportive more than they've ever, even if they've been supportive, it just changes the dynamic. And these guys, when they go, it's crazy, because we've watched the transition happen from 7 years ago when we would go to different events, and how the guys would kind of all just be like not even talking, and the girls would all be standing in their groups having conversations, to Chad doing the first men's retreat, and then it changed the dynamic completely in the company. All of a sudden the guys were standing around and we were like, dude, the guys were like, they were chatty Cathys, like they were all just like, but they're just bros now, and they're friends, and they have a network finally, and they feel like they belong. And so I can't reiterate enough how you need to use your superpowers as the wife and do whatever you need to do to get your husband to commit to go, because it will change everything, and it's worth every bit, because he's going to get poured into in a way. And it's not all, it's they don't even really talk about it works that much there, just FYI. This is a time where the guys can get together, bond over camping, bond over fishing, bond over golfing. And then Chad has done such a great job, and he won't talk about himself, but I will, of bringing in these quality speakers that are going to come in and pour into your men, and they're going to leave better than when they got there. So anyway, just wanted to put that plug in there, because it's very, very important that we want you guys to have these spots. So let's get them in.
Yeah, I remember. So Joel and Stephanie, they've been #1 income earners for 4 years now, I think. And I was so nervous, because when I did the first one, I knew Joel was coming, and I had never really had more than, you know, a 1 or 2 minute conversation with him. So just to meet him and get to know how down to earth he is, and sit down with him and just a bunch of guys, like 10 or 12 of us at a table hanging out. And now there are so many high quality, amazing people that all of your husbands and boyfriends and people, if they come and they get to hang out in that environment, it just changes you, because you think so much differently after that weekend. So just encourage you if they can come. I've made it as inexpensive as possible. Like you get 2 to 3 nights of lodging and like 4 meals and then and some other stuff for like starting off at like $125, and it goes up from there depending on.
And just FYI, he makes no money from this, because I'm telling you, like sometimes we end up paying money out of our own pocket to make this happen for the guys. And this is the last year. I want you to understand, this is the last year that Chad's doing this, because it is a financial strain. It is very time consuming, and we want to stay focused on other things. So he's got a huge lineup of incredible speakers that are coming to show up. So if you guys will just do your part and get your men there, get them committed, I'm telling you, you won't regret it.
Now, if you have specific questions, just PM me. I said Yvette's asking when and how to sign up. Yvette, you can look on social media and just put in men's retreat, probably anything with my name, and it should pop up, or just message me and I'll send you the link. So, okay, enough about that. So 2 things I love today. I was thinking about, you know, we have this It Works personal development Facebook page, and right now we're going through the 15 laws of growth, right? And so that's so important we grow our mind. When you sit down and you get to spend time with someone like John Maxwell, you understand that the people that are very successful in this world, there's things they do every day, you know, and we all do certain things every day, like probably eat every day, right? Hopefully you're all brushing your teeth every day, hopefully, right? And there's certain things you just do every single day. So John Maxwell would say one thing that we should do, actually he has basically 5 that he says that we should be doing every single day to guarantee our success. And he's, CEO of 7 different businesses, wrote 110 books. So he's someone who knows a little something about success, right? And so he says one thing you got to do every day is you have to grow. So what we're going through right now is a book he wrote called The 15 Laws of Growth. Every Tuesday and Thursday morning from 7:30 to 8:30 on the It Works Personal Development Facebook page, we go live or we do a Zoom. It's all recorded. It's all archived in there. So you can go back and see hundreds of Zooms that we've done on all kinds of topics. So just go there and we'll get you at it or whatever. So that's the first thing. He talks about you have to connect every day, right? In It Works, we should be meeting new people every day and establishing relationships and growing relationship with people. That's what we call connecting, right? Connecting and growing those relationships. One of the things you have to do is work on your mindset every single day. A big difference between someone who's not successful and someone who is successful is mindset. They just have between their ears, there's a little something different going on where they believe a little bit more. They have a little bit more faith. They have a little bit more optimism. They're focused on what they want to happen, not worrying about what they don't want to happen, right? There's just they're becoming what Joel Dunn calls an eternal optimist. Finding the silver lining in anything that's happening. And that's a mindset thing. One of the best tips I can give you on that is if you look up Earl Nightingale, The Strangest Secret, and you just listen to that and listen to it every day, it'll start to change the way you look at the world, start to change the way you think. So that leadership, and all leadership is something you should do every day is work on that. And leadership is influence. How are you growing your influence? You should be with intention growing your influence every single day. And then the last one would be significance. Success is more about me, right? If you want to be successful, it's more about you. If you want to become significant, it's more about other people. So when you start really getting dialed in on what significance is and how to become significant, it's all about growing other people. It's all about helping other people. And that's the attitude that you need to have in It Works Global. Because if you don't, eventually you'll just be like, this isn't for me, and you'll move on, which is fine. But we say, you have to get better or you get left. You have to grow or you're going to go. And that's just by design, right? That's the way this industry works, is we change or we leave. It's just the way that it's all set up, okay? And so we're here to do our best to just help you change, help you to have a transformation, And so what I'm excited to get into is talking about change, talking about transformation, talking about possibility and belief. In this company, you got to grow your belief constantly in 4 areas. You got to grow your belief in the industry, the company, in yourself, and in the products. Okay. And I can't think of a better way to grow your belief in the products than to bring someone on here who has used the products and will share with us exactly what he's done and what's happened. So let me just tell you a little bit of background story here. So I'm about to bring Kyle Huffman on here, the guy that I shared. Most of you probably know a little bit about his story by now, but this guy has had extreme results, right? Over the last 17 months, extreme results to where I was at we had Pam Souter in town on July 18th, which just happened to be my birthday. We went out to eat afterwards, and we're sitting there, and they surprised me with 2 cakes, and I'm like, I'll have 1 piece. I was trying to be good. Tree surprised me with 2 cakes, these big, huge cakes. And so I have 1 piece of each because I'm somewhat keto and somewhat Cheeto, still working. That's why I'm excited to hear from Kyle too. But so I'm just passing out the cake, and everybody's like, "Woo, give me that one, and give me that one, give me that." And then about 3 people said, no cake for me. And I was like, what? And one was Kyle, and I just remember looking at him going, what? And I'm like, this guy looks a little familiar, but I don't remember. And then later on Facebook, social media, I don't remember how it happened, but I'm looking and I see the old Kyle, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I see the old Kyle. I just got to show you real quick. I got to show you old Kyle. Right before I bring Kyle on here, I got to show you guys this because this is just crazy awesome. So let's see here. Let's see. How do I do this?
No, you just got it.
Oh, wait, I gotta make this over here.
Look, right there.
Well, I want to show them this first. Okay, so we have, look at this. There's old Kyle, new Kyle. I think they can see that. That's just, we're just in the way of that one.
I know, I'm moving it.
Oh, you're moving it? Okay. And so, guys, this is 17 months. This is how much Kyle was able to change in 17 months. And then, he's got corporate approved. If you guys haven't seen these yet, he has, this incredible, look at this, before and after. BFF, he used the BFF, keto coffee, keto energy, 15 wraps, greens, the hydrate, the berry blend greens, the hydrate, the confianza, 17 months. Okay, let me show you one more. Apologize for the background noise here. We got life happening. Here's another one of Kyle. I mean, this is Kyle. We're getting ready to talk to Kyle. He's a real person, right? Real person, corporate approved, 17 months. So let me get out of this screen share. You guys, I am pumped about it. I don't know. Let's remove some stuff around here. Okay, there we go. We got about 120 of you on here. Your minds are about to be blown. Okay, so let me go over here. Kyle, can you unmute yourself? Oh, I got you. Can you hear? I think you're unmuted. How you doing tonight, man?
I'm good. Can you hear me okay?
I can. We can hear you perfectly. So, okay, let's start from the beginning. So, how did you get to where you were and what made you to join It Works and kind of what got you to say, today's the day, I'm just going to start changing? Can you kind of share that story a little bit?
Yeah, so I can't start without saying that, well, I was nervous with just being on here with you, but now Dree's here, so I'm even more nervous. So I've always looked up to you guys from the moment I joined the company and heard your guys' story. Like, it's been nothing but epic. And when I met you guys at a event in Nashville 3 years ago and got to take a picture with you and one of my uplines, Marie Napoli, at that point, it was definitely life-changing. So I appreciate you guys, and I'm very grateful for this opportunity. So I first joined It Works, and I say first joined because I'm one of those that left and came back. But I first joined, I believe it was in 2018, and we're from a small town, Danville, Kentucky. There's not very much here. It's 2 high schools, a few elementary schools, and that's about it. And one of my friends from high school, I would always see her post about Thermo Fit at the time. And so I would always be like, I really need something to probably boost my metabolism. I was kind of going to the gym, kind of not. And so I reached out to her and was like, can you tell me more about that? And she's actually on the Zoom tonight. And she did. And so I joined as a loyal customer starting out. And within, I don't know, probably the first 3 or 4 weeks, I could immediately see that the product was great and it was increasing my metabolism when I would go to the gym. So it was obviously working for the justice that it was supposed to. And then I reached back out to her and she explained to me that, she made money by doing so. And I was like, wow, how can you do that? And sorry, my lighting's going to get worse because I did have my iPhone light on. I'm really ghetto. I don't have very good lighting, but that's kind of giving me a headache. So, but anyway, so I decided to join the company as a distributor. And I have never really gotten to the point of, I guess we'll say, going big with the company. And I will say it's not from lack of work by any means, but it's never really came, and that's okay because the people that I've met along the way and the community within It Works has been nothing short of amazing. So when I did leave, thinking the grass was greener on the other side of other companies along the way, it wasn't about a financial standpoint for me. It was always a health standpoint for me. So I left because I needed to lose weight and I needed to get healthier. And if another company was more appealing at that time for those specific reasons, that's why I left. However, none of those companies had what It Works had as far as people that would pray around you, gather around you, and build that support around you, just like you guys. I don't know you guys on a personal level, but I still felt like you all prayed for people and you built a relationship with people. So that was always missing, and that ultimately always stuck in the back of my head, and ultimately it brought me back. When it brought me back was right before I decided to go keto, and Do you want me to build up to the point of that initial heavyweight, Chad? Is that what you want me to do?
Yeah, just kind of how you got there, and then what
Okay.
happened to get you to, start changing.
So I always tell people what a typical day for me looked like before keto. And so for me, that would look like I would start the morning typically with my favorite place to go was Burger King for breakfast. I would get a double croissant sandwich, a large hash brown, and a large Coke, usually with vanilla or cherry in it. So I would eat all that croissant with the bread, of course, and that was usually around 8 o'clock. By 10 o'clock, I would want a snack, and so I would eat that snack, of course, and then by 12 or 1 o'clock, it was lunchtime. I would typically go to a local place here in town called Lee's Famous Recipe. So it's kind of like KFC, but it's Lee's. It's fried chicken place, and I would always get the 3-piece chicken strip with potato wedges and a large Pepsi. And then by 2, 3 o'clock, I would go behind my office to the Speedway gas station and get another large soda and a candy bar. Because I felt sleepy and I was like, I need sugar. So I'd get that to get me through until I got home. And then if we didn't cook, which usually we did not cook, then we would eat fast food again. So it might be a Little Caesars $5 pizza or something of that nature. And then by 8 or 9 o'clock, we was eating ice cream or whatever else junk food we could have. That was literally my typical day every day of the week. And at the same time, I was out here promoting It Works and not living a healthy lifestyle. I was being a product of the product, taking it, but I couldn't say, hey, this is working, because I wasn't working with it.
Oh, good.
So on February 26th of 2018, I was going to work. I went to put on my shoes and went bent down to tie my shoes, and when I got back up, I was just out of breath. Like, literally felt like I had just ran a marathon and had done zero cardio. Just tied my shoes. And so the next step was I text my coworkers in a group message, and I said, hey, if you see me drink a soda today, or if you see me overeat a large amount of carbs, you have permission to slap me. And I literally meant it. And I worked with nothing but females, so I had no doubt in my mind that they would slap me. So throughout that day, I try to stay away from the soda, and I try to stay away from the carbs. And I tell people I don't know if I didn't want to get slapped or if I just didn't want the carbs. But day one went by, and I was more on the low carb side. I think I got like a sandwich, and I took off half the bun. I drank more water that first day. I got through it. Second day come, same thing. And I was just waiting for that moment when, I don't know, day 5 or 10, when I was going to relapse and going to fail, because for 31 years of my life, that's what had always happened. I can say I'm going on a diet, or I can say I'm starting this weight loss journey, but I always failed. The difference starting out this journey this time around was, 1 was mindset, 2 was keto coffee. I literally started the morning with keto coffee every day, and I fell in love with it. I was trying to do bulletproof at first, just making it myself, and then It Works came out with keto coffee, and I was like, holy crap, it seems like perfect timing. Let's give it a shot, see if it tastes as bad as what my homemade is. It did not taste as bad. It was epic, and I stuck with it. So about day, I don't know, the first couple of days, I reached out to a guy that I knew, and said, hey, I know I've seen you in the gym many a times. I know we've lost contact. You used to work for me. And I was like, but I'm wondering if you can hold me accountable. He said, sure. I thought, just like the journey, I would lose contact with him. And there's more to that story later. But So I got out my calendar and I numbered day 1 to day 100. And on day 100 would be my second day for vacation that year, last year, and it would be in Florida. And so I was like, well, if I make it to that point, I'm going to be in Florida on the beach. Obviously, I'll want to cheat. So by getting to work every day and seeing it on the calendar and keeping track with it on social media and listing those days out, that was, to me, that was really what psychologically changed everything for me. So for the first 100 days, I really dug deep. I didn't cheat at all. I didn't do anything that I shouldn't have. I drank water. I drank the things that I should have. I self-taught myself about keto. I looked up recipes and started cooking at home. I removed anything toxic from my home, and by toxic I mean sugars and sweets and things like that. And eventually developed energy, which in return led me to the gym. And I would see on keto blogs and keto articles, hey, you don't have to go to the gym if you're on keto, and that's fine. Some people don't, and I can't force people to go to the gym, just like I don't force people to do keto. It's not for everybody. But for me, I had the extra energy, and for me, the gym became an escape. And so I went because it made me feel good. And it gradually turned into like my new, I guess I would call it an addiction almost. And so that mindset changed to, I was a social worker for the state of Kentucky, and therefore I had long hours at night, not knowing what time I would get off depending on what a kid's situation was. So I started getting up at 4 a.m. every morning to go to the gym, because if I didn't do it in the morning, I may never make it to the gym. And since that time, I've just stayed with that consistent routine. My alarm is set on my Fitbit for 3:30, and I go to the gym. And at day 100 at the beach, I did cheat, felt like crap, didn't want to do it again, and went straight back to keto the next day. And been living the keto life ever since. There is times where I will have something that I don't really want or need, but just like a birthday or something like that, I may have cake or whatever. It's not that I'm craving it or want it, but I'm just trying to take part, and so I do it. The workout partner that I reached out to become my discipline person has followed up with me every day, and can literally say my best friend now. And we just completed a Spartan race in Asheville, North Carolina 2 weekends ago, in the Black Mountains, and that was 4 miles and 23 military obstacles. And we have signed up for round 2, which will be in Atlanta, Georgia, and that is going to be 8 miles and 32 military obstacles. So that is up next, and then the trifecta is 3 races, and that'll be 13 miles. So I don't know what happened to my screen. There it is. No? Okay. So that's the gist of my story. 156 pounds we're going on 18 months now. So.
Okay, so Kyle, I didn't know your story, but I just have to say, man, I am so proud of you. Like, I don't think you realize, like you said, oh, I haven't had that much success in the business, but I'm just like, I'm over here just thinking, most people don't have this kind of success in their life. And if it works, got you your health back and you got your life back because it was part of that, man, that is success, because you're going to live longer. You feel better. You're doing things you didn't think you were going to be able to do. And my gosh, you're so inspiring. I want you to know that. Like, I'm so inspired by you. It takes grit and tenacity to do what you've done. It's that you're doing it every single day. This, like, you've gone all in with this. And that's what it takes to be an Ambassador Diamond. I'm telling you, you have everything that it takes to go all the way. It's the same kind of grit, the same kind of tenacity. And you guys, hey, if you're inspired, pop it in the chat. Like he needs to see it. Who's inspired by this?
That's so cool.
So leading up to, I will say it's taken a lot to develop self-love and self-worth. Because at any moment I feel like there could be a relapse. I don't think people realize food addiction and soda addiction. Soda was a huge one for me. It's very real. And I feel like at any moment something could flip and I could go right back to it. And that's why I try to stay consistent with personal development while I'm at the gym, and just consistently going to the gym and consistently staying with that routine. And so I guess it's been about 2 months ago, maybe, I started my own kind of Facebook page, because I've always carried this like little logo along the way, and I've called it Huffman Too Healthy, with the number 2. And so my goal is just to get out and tell people my story. And so I wanted to turn it into like a motivational type speaking thing. And I think that's another thing that I should say, and my upline could directly tell you this. I anybody in my life could tell you this. I did not want to ever speak in front of people before this. Like, so to realize like what self-confidence that it's gave me that I didn't even know is amazing. Because I mean, I left the state of Kentucky back in March with my job at social services to come to a new position. And my new position, I now get out in the community and speak to people. That's what I do. And it's still about child abuse and neglect, but I would have never done that before. So it opened that opportunity to me of something that I was fearful of. So by losing the weight, it's opened a lot of doors. So for sure.
Isn't that just like God, though, to take you out of your comfort zone?
It absolutely.
You did it to me. I hate being on stage. Like, I hate it. I used to get into fetal position and I'd have to take like a shot of tequila or drink a glass of wine before I go on stage. Like, it was for real anxiety. Like, I would be in the bathroom pooping because I'd have diarrhea. It was bad. And now I still get nervous, but I can do it with more ease. But it's just because God took us to this place. I said I would never do it, and then God always, like, don't ever say that you're never going to do something, because it seems like you end up doing that exact thing that you say you're never going to.
You know what's crazy too, Kyle, is in the 7 years Drew and I have been in this company out, and we've met, thousands and thousands of people outside of Rusty Lackey. I don't know of anyone else that's lost 150 pounds. Like, I don't. I know people have lost like 50, a few that have lost 100. But so you might be like one of a handful out of millions of people that have come through this company and become customers and become distributors. And so what you've accomplished is just incredible. And I know, and I hope what this is doing, I think back to when Dree and I first got in It Works. We went to a event that Melody and Blair were at. And I just remember Blair showing the comp plan and saying, well, we've had months, we've made 3 times that ambassador pay. And I did, not a math major, but I'm like, that's about $100,000 in a month. And I'm thinking, if they did $100,000 in a month, I know I can do my little $10,000 a month. And so, like, when I'm hearing you, hopefully people on here are listening that have maybe been trying to lose just like 20 pounds, over the last 10 years and never quite been able to do it. Well, I think I actually know there's people on here right now that have probably tried to diet 10, 15 times, never could get that 20 pounds off. And after hearing your story, they're going to knock it out of the park, because they're like, man, if Kyle can do 150 in 17 months, I can do 20, over the next 6-8 months or whatever. So that's just huge, man. It's huge. And I love the way you told your story too, because it's
real.
Yeah.
And
real
authentic.
And authentic and transparent. And, it's just, and you shared, you tried some other stuff in the past. And I love that you start off differently this time and you put the accountability pieces in there. I was taking a lot of notes here, because that's important, that you're told the women to slap you, right? You're like, oh, I got to look at them every day. I'm going to get slapped. I thought I'm going to tell my wife. She'll slap. She won't even ask those. She'll just slap me before.
I tell people up front, like, on social media especially, I mean, I would just warn people, like, if this is annoying to you, just delete yourself, because to me, that was accountability. Like, I would check in at the gym and post the picture of whatever it was, whether it be it works or just a selfie of me at the gym. But for me, seeing it firsthand, and I would usually, most often put like a motivational type quote with it. So for me, that was my accountability. And in return, I've gotten a lot of people who are motivated by it. Now, I don't know what it was. Last week was a bad week. I had some haters come through, but that's okay. This week's been a better week, so it is what it is. You get those along the way.
Oh, we do.
But,
We do.
but yeah, that was one way that I became accountable once I started going to the gym, is just by checking in. And I think some people they make fun of it, but whatever. It is what it is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you have to pay the price, and I think public accountability is really important. It makes it a lot harder to stop and to quit on yourself. Because I tell people all the time, commitment is doing what you said you would do long after the feeling you said it in has left you. And so when the feeling leaves you, if you don't have those accountability pieces in place, it's so easy to backslide and just to roll over in bed, right, instead of rolling out of bed, or go eat the whatever and not let the ladies know at work or whatever.
So everybody's asking, Kyle, what products are you consistently using?
Yeah, I've seen that. So keto coffee is a real go-to. I do usually go to, just because I'm out and about so much, I usually go to Starbucks once a day now, but I have like a keto version that I have them make me. But keto coffee is always a regular. Keto energy, I use it quite often, but I do suffer from migraines some, so sometimes I feel like it's a little bit too much, so I have to kind of watch that, take it easy depending on the weather. Let me think. BFF, when it's back in stock right now, but we consistently, we ran out of ours so fast because we made pudding out of ours every time. Like, we never made a drink out of it, so ours was always pudding, and it would last us about 2 to 3 days. So I would just make pudding and then use sugar-free whipped cream on top. That was our go-to. And I actually would crush up pistachios and put on top of my whipped cream.
That sounds good.
So BFF was a real go-to. I use greens quite frequently. I'm team berry. I'm not a huge chocolate person. However, I do love the BFF. So I do have berry greens usually very frequently. Confianza is a huge one in my house. I have 2 kids, boy and a girl, and so Confianza is a must. I do not use TFX. It just doesn't go well with my lifestyle, and that's just my personal preference. I think it makes me more hungry than it does anything, so I kind of stray away from it. I think that is usually my consistent products. And then I shouldn't say that's it. I can't let the wraps go. I was actually blessed to be one of the winners of the 12 the wraps for a year. So I was blessed to be one of those winners based on a result that I submitted back in April. So I won the wraps for a year, and so I've been wrapping more consistently because I do have some loose skin on my belly and some loose skin on my thighs. The arms are coming together pretty good. So, and I'm very committed. I have this weird goal that I am not going to have surgery to repair that skin. I'm going to somehow repair it through the gym and my wraps, and Lord willing, I will make it work somehow.
I believe that you can.
I
I forget what it was, but somebody said when you go to the gym regularly and you get a certain endorphin or something in your body, it actually causes your skin to tighten up. Like it's literally a real thing.
Yeah. It's slowly starting to come together, so we'll see. My thighs are going to be the worst. I've always been called thunder thighs, so my thighs are pretty bad. But cardio is my go-to. So I do a lot of cardio. I do a lot of running. I do a lot of walking, and so my legs are becoming quite the strengther. So I just climb mountains. So there's that. So we'll see. But I think that is the consistent products that I use. I've been using a lot of defining gel recently to apply to those spots. But yeah, that's my.
What are a couple of your go-to? I know you said you started, obviously in the beginning it was just experimenting with what you like to eat as far as keto meals. Is there a couple that you like have multiple times through the week, or your go-to, your daily go-to, or what do you eat a lot of?
Well, there's a little secret behind that too. In my Huffman to Healthy page, local people, I was influenced by some people who reached out to me and asked me if I would do kind of like a Hello Fresh type thing. So every week for the past 6 weeks now, I'm actually putting up a menu of 3 options for the community, and I'm giving people the opportunity to purchase the meals from me. And so I bake those every week, and then whoever wants to buy them can do so. And so people in the community is now getting to experience low carb and keto options cooked by me and delivered by me every week. So right now, this weekend is a big week for us because we came back from vacation last week. So as of this weekend, I will be cooking 27 meals. So, but my favorites are, I have a favorite chili dog bake is one of my favorites. I know it sounds kind of disgusting to some people, but I do a homemade chili. It's keto, low carb, more low carbish than anything probably because it's got a few more carbs than what others would. But essentially it's just like chili dog with no bread and baked in the oven. So chili dog bake is a good one. My first ever recipe that I ever tried was egg roll in a bowl. So that one's pretty good. And then I really like my keto lasagna. It's probably one of my favorites as well.
I love that you mentioned Confianza and that's a staple in your household, because I think what a lot of people don't realize, like, Confianza is such a good product. It's $25 and it balances your adrenals and it helps with your cortisol levels. And a lot of people that cannot lose weight and they just struggle and they're constantly hitting that brick wall no matter what they do, it's because their adrenals are so out of whack and their cortisol levels are so high. And so I love that. And so for those of you that are on here and you maybe have found yourself in that place where things aren't working for you and you're really trying, I really suggest that you get on Confianza and our probiotic. The probiotic is amazing to really get your gut flora and everything going as it should. But those 2 products, along with the greens, those are like my go-to products, Confianza, greens, and probiotics. I feel like that's going to really reset you and keep everything moving and going forward. And that is going to allow you to start losing weight so that the other products begin to work for you. But Confianza is such a great product.
It really is. And I always recommend it because obviously it's $25. I mean, and people ask me like, how's it make you feel? And I usually the only way I can usually explain it is it really just takes the edge off. Like I really just feel like if I'm on that just edge of a blow up, like within minutes, I feel much better.
Yeah.
And I have taken it before when I feel like I'm at the point of like a stall, and I'll take it just because I feel like, oh, it's been kind of a stressful week. Maybe I need to take this Confianza.
Yeah.
So.
And in the beginning, I don't know if you know this, but in the beginning, you can take Confianza as needed. So you can take it multiple times a day if you're still finding yourself being hyper stressed out and stuff. So
Yep.
It's good.
Man, so you just shared so incredible. I know a couple people on here are asking, do you share some of your recipes? Like you ever put them on?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Typically, like in the other little group, I've had like 2 people that live out of state that just wanted to join the group just to be supportive, and that's perfectly fine. They just asked me if I could share the recipe, and I did. But yeah, I've got some of them like typed up on my phone, and I can send them out. The easiest way to probably do it is just join the Huffman to Healthy page because I post them on there all the time, and then if not, I can just send them in a chat because I know after this I won't be able to see the comments or whatever probably. So. Yeah, you can reach out to me Facebook. You can message me. I don't care to share any of my recipes. I'm on Pinterest. There's recipes on there that I have mentioned tonight. The chili dog bake's on there. Egg roll in a bowl's on there. The lasagna is not on there. That's one that we just have saved. And honestly, I'll tell you a secret. The keto lasagna is just cream cheese and eggs, and that's all it is. And it does not taste like eggs at all. But it is legit cream cheese and eggs, and that's it. So. very easy to make and taste wonderful. So before my race 2 weeks ago, we went to Authentic Italian Restaurant in Nashville, and I mean, it was definitely good, and you could tell it was authentic. It just, to me, it didn't compare to my keto lasagna because it was just a big old blob of noodles, and it was hard for me to carb up that night. So very hard, but I had to do what I had to do to make it through. So.
But you worked it off.
I know, I did work it off, but.
Man, so great. So is there any last tips or things you'd like to share that maybe were just game changer for you?
The only thing that I always tell people at this point in my life, and I feel like that I have the ability to say it, and it feels good to have the ability to say it, is when you feel like you've tried everything and you feel like giving up, like, don't do it. Because, I mean, 31 years, and I know that sounds cliche because 31 years, yeah, you're kind of younger, but I mean, I was an overweight kid. I mean, been overweight all my life. I let weight be the reason that I, didn't continue on the swim team or didn't try out for the basketball team, even though I enjoyed those things. Got a criminal justice degree, but would never go into like police or anything because, hey, I'm too big for that. So weight stood in my way my whole life, but I didn't let it be the ultimate thing that was going to define me and take me away from my family and take me away from my kids. Like, instead, I let something like tying my shoes change my life. So that's all I'll say.
Man, I hope you guys that are on here are so inspired. And I know some of you, this is really hitting you in the feels, and it's this emotions that you've been feeling right now, and you've been feeling like it's a hopeless place. But let this be so inspiring to you and let it drive you to change your life. You don't have to settle for where you're at right now. And Kyle is just such an incredible human being. Thank you so much for jumping on here and being so transparent and vulnerable and just putting it all out there, because that takes guts to do. And you said we don't know each other very well, but we're going to know each other really well. We think it's really special.
I appreciate you guys again. I'm extremely grateful. I can't tell you how many times I've shared your all story, because it truly has blessed me along the way. So thank you all.
Well, I've been sharing your story a lot, and I'm not about to slow down, man, because it's incredible. It gives people hope. And thanks for being available, because for those of you watching, I just reached out to Kyle like 2 hours before this thing and said, hey, are you available in 2 hours?
Son's birthday, but you know what? I couldn't pass this up for you.
Oh, you're so awesome. Well, thank you so much, Kyle.
And we owe you one. So if you need us to help you with anything,
please let us know.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
All right. Well, hey guys, we appreciate all of you tuning in. I'm sure you're all like excited, and here's just a human being that went out there and just did it. Just decided, made it this quality decision, just did it. And man, I love knowing people like Kyle. So, and now you guys know him too. So make sure and join his page, the Huffman 2 Healthy, and go get those recipes and change your life.
Go blow his inbox up and tell him how he changed your life.
Yeah, dude, for sure. Make a post, tag him. Let's just blow his feet up.
All right. Good night, everybody.